have to hang on for a few more months. We've got good vaccines coming. Yeah. Maybe ours is one of them, but you
You know what? I've been sitting here talking again and had everything on mute. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to talk. I'm not even doing anything, but at least you can see my face this time. Well, last time I had it on no video, but audio. So that would help for the podcast with no video, but it's okay. Listen, I'm so excited. It is Talking with T. Rice. It's Talking Tuesday. We've got a lot to talk about over these past 7 days since the election of who? President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. So I have a small confession to make. I did not vote for Joe in primaries, and I always wanted Kamala to win. I just thought that she could do it. I heard so much rhetoric about her in the backgrounds and listening to people and conversations. And so I was a little wee bit concerned. I was like, oh man, why people don't like her? She's smart. She can get it done. And she's a woman. She can work it out. Anyway, I was just excited. Something fresh, something great, something new. But hey, that's my personal opinion. Alicia.
Yes.
I'm gonna slow down because I'm gonna take some deep breaths.
We got a lot. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Since even we talked earlier, man, you have no idea what I've just the stuff that I have talked about and seen, even just articles of watching. I'm going to make sure that I don't let I'm trying to pull up Facebook. I've seen some folks saying hello. Hi, Casey. Hi, Quentin. I'm trying to do better, Alicia, with engaging our audience. And listen, if you guys have something to say, I definitely because we're going to be talking about some pretty good stuff. I've got some clips that I want to show so we can talk about. And we're going to talk about something, Alicia, that you and I really, really, really love. It's conversations that we've had since forever. Hey, Zandra! Alicia, Zandra's here.
All right, the crew's here.
Absolutely. And so the thing is, there were a lot of clips. Things I was going to say that you and I really like to talk about is that Christianity and politics kind of thing. And did it go through the roof or what? Hey,
yes.
Hey. Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm going to shoot this in case we say something that somebody wants to be able to join in or chime in and say, because I don't think I can do anything with you guys with like connecting you any other way so that you can be heard except via Zoom. So hi Zandra, hi Casey, all of you great folks. That's a Zoom link and I think it'll let you get in. And if you need
that would be awesome.
Yeah, because we would
open
love
the floor.
If you want to jump in and chime in and say something, I most certainly will give you what you need. I think I put the right link in there if you guys want to climb in, because if it gets out of control, I know how to hit a cut them off button or something. But I don't think anyone that's trying to join with us on Zoom would really have we wouldn't really have to do that. So again, hi Jeannie, hi Zandra, hi Quentin, hi Casey. Casey, I know you want to join in and talk with me and Alicia. But listen, I'm gonna jump. Yes, Sandra, I'm gonna get to Paula White.
No, Lord, help us.
I'm gonna get to her. But before I say or talk about Christians that have like completely, I won't even say they've lost their minds, because their minds are exactly the way that most conservative Christian people's minds have been for the past 400 years. So they haven't lost their minds. For me, probably for you, Alicia, because we had these dialogues way before Biden was in. Hi,
Yeah.
Rita.
Yeah.
Way before this was in, this was a normal conversation for you and I to talk about all the time, about where Christianity is, where their mindset is. And I'm
Yes.
going to share some things that I want. But before I get into that, I want to show you guys this article. And this article, I came across today, and I want to give a praise out to this pastor who literally left his ministry, left Republicans to stand up for truth. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. This article was
Yes.
in LA Times. Okay. I'm going to pull it up. So yeah, here's the pastor. I want to share this article with everybody, and I hope we can still see. But listen, this is an article out of the LA Times, and this pastor was able to, I believe you say his name, Mannes, Mannes. Well, anyway, he took part in the 10-day walk this summer from Charlottesville to Washington, D.C. And so this article, you guys have got to see it, because this man, if you know anything about evangelicals and conservative Christians, they demonize you if you are a
Yes.
Democrat. They do
Yep.
not think Democrats can be godly or anything. And I'm here to tell you, I am a tongue-talking, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized Democrat.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I put it all out there. And if you want to break it down even further, baptized in Jesus' name. Okay, since the age of 10 years old, and I'm trying to tell you, I am not a lost cause. I understand pro-life. Okay, I understand pro-choice. The point, I've listened to so many commentators today. We're talking about from 103.9 The Light here in Raleigh, North Carolina, to Roland Martin's show that he was sharing. What is it, Roland Martin Unfiltered or whatever. I've listened to all of these commentaries, and it's amazing. Oh, and don't let me get to Miss Tiffany Cross, auntie.
Okay.
See, okay. Wish I could have her here. But listen, we understand, we get all of that. But if you don't want to go have one, don't go have one. And
It's just that simple.
Right. And change your narrative about those who do. Go help them, walk them through it. I don't see them coming up with any programs to take on these mothers to have alternatives.
They don't take on when that baby gets here. They don't want to make sure that they have what they need.
Absolutely. So this man has joined Pastor Maines, who resigned from his ministry for over a decade, and who has been preaching in the gospel for a couple of decades throughout the Florida area. And we'll get to the Florida people in a moment. But he has joined with thousands of other pro-life evangelicals for Biden. And they say that the former vice president has a more biblical balanced agenda than the Trump, that despite their Catholic candidate support for abortion rights. And I think when people try to change that conversation in those narratives talking about abortion rights, I think that it's not that they're telling people go have them. They're saying, listen, that part of your business is your business, and I can't dictate that. Just like you don't want people to dictate your gun rights, just like you don't want people to dictate so many things except for what you think is the most important thing. And we all know that it is important for people or for, we never know what that child might be. Granted, that's true. But at the end of the day, we have so many rights. And Alicia, if you even can share, it's just like this, even God gives us a right.
Well, and that's the thing that I think is hypocritical in this whole process, is that you only have the rights that I endow you with, and I get to judge what you can and cannot do. That, like you talked about, they are so Second Amendment. I mean, if you want to go and go buy one, go buy an arsenal. I mean, just don't be killing anybody you ain't got no business killing. But that is what the Constitution provides for. And all of these other things, we began to get into this moral judgment that we have no business doing it. Even the word says, hey, I put before you life and death. I'm going to tell you to choose life, but I still gave you a choice. When Lot was there with his family, he still had a choice. People have a choice. And I don't know where this comes from, where all of a sudden, all of these many gods are around here condemning folks, but yet and still they want to hold on to their own. No, ain't nobody saying anything about seatbelt rights. If you get in the car, ain't nobody saying anything about you got to pay car insurance. Don't pay some car insurance, right?
And
You
hit
won't have a
somebody.
tag. They will quickly tell you what you can and cannot do. And so I think that we get such down this rabbit hole about this very restrictive religious, I don't even have a word for it. Like, and it's so, and people are so bound by it. I see it all the time for people coming into my practice. They are so bound by the shame and guilt about all of these things that they end up struggling with just simple stuff. Because I ask people that all the time. It says, well, at the end of the day, you're going to have a moral code that you live your life by, because you got to answer to that. My thing is, when Jesus cracks God, we all gonna be sitting there going, oh, I got that one wrong. So, oh yeah, that's what that meant. Oh, okay, but we forget the gospel of grace, right? We want people to have grace on us, but we get really stringent when, the church, and you and I were talking about this morning, that the church has had such a divide that morals became the second in hierarchy to a whole host of power and greed.
Right. And I have a few friends who are atheists or just don't believe in God that I've just met along the way, along life. And and it's always them saying, how in the world can someone like you and someone like either whoever that they know are Christians have two totally different opinions about the same book? And it leaves the world to be confused and to wonder what in the world is going on. And I think something that I think I shared with you earlier today was America with faith or Christianity has really been the same the whole 400 years.
Yes.
They've always been entrenched in racism. They've always been entrenched in not operating in the character of Christ. Because the first thing I would like to say is, if you are a real believer, how in the world are you treating the image of God like that?
Okay, so now you got to insert Paula White. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're gonna insert Paula White. And Misha, they're not new glasses. They're my I got contacts on. They're my glasses for my blue light for the screen.
Oh, I was say, you looking mighty chic over there.
And the topic, Nicholas picked them out. Nicholas told me that I needed these because I'd be on the computer. So he picked them out. Yes. He told me to get it. Okay. So
okay. All right.
And Misha, the topic is around is 7 days after the election, whom our current president has not conceded yet.
So I have to insert Paula White.
Yes, I can pull her up. You want to play the clip first or no?
Please play the clip. Please.
All right. So we're going to play the clip first of Paula White, and let me pull it up. Okay. There we go. So we're going to play the clip of Paula White. Now, did you want to see the one where she's praying, or did you want to see the one where she is telling you you don't got to, you call me? I'm trying to find that one. Okay, that's not funny, Toshiba. I'm sorry. I'm going to share my screen. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to be a nice Christian girl.
Every demonic confederacy against the election, against America, against that who you have declared to be in the White House.
And this is now this that I pulled their video.
The arrow that has been shot against the president, against your plan, right now, we cause it to ricochet and go back to sender right now. High-level demonic networks, let them be broken, let them be torn down in the name of Jesus.
It's 7 minutes, Alicia, so we won't play the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You are the God of division. You are the God of the sword as much as you are the God of the olive branch. So right now, take the sword of the Lord. Take the sword of the Lord. Take the sword of the Lord and divide everything that is not of you. Separate the wheat from the tare and strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. For I hear victory, 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 victory in the corridors of heaven. In the corridors of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rite tidi ashata. For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus. From South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. From Africa. From South America. Angelic forces. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement.
So first, I understood angels to be heavenly hosts, and don't reside in Uganda. I'm just saying. Let's just start with let's get some geography right. I to me, stuff like that.
So answer questions like Vicky. Vicky says, "Who are the angels from Africa?" And Casey says, "Okay, so what is happening with this lady?" African angel. Okay, go ahead.
And to me, this commercializes what faith is supposed to be about. That you're using the name as a means of vengeance too, because whatever, just like in the King Nebuchadnezzar, whatever God has called to happen will be and serves his purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Full stop. He has used evil men in the Bible. He's used great kings in the Bible. Egypt, that whole process of being in captivity served a purpose. We don't like it. Doesn't feel good. But this whole thing that she's doing and creating it, such that, and why Africa? Why not Ireland? Why not
Misha
England?
said no European angels. But we have them here, and they seem to be the fallen ones sometimes. And what is happening is that this behavior in Western Christianity and Western culture has caused a great turn away from believing in the Christian faith. And because they have behaved in such manners of being unloving, of being unkind, the very thing that pastor said, from Michigan, that the LA Times wrote about, he says, I can no longer keep doing this.
Yeah.
And he said, even though he put in his 2 weeks resignation, even though members text him and quit the church because they found out he was Democrat and all that, they were just done with every bit of it. And they are forgetting the very foundations and tenets in which we're supposed to be living by. And so you have all of this great falling away. Oh my God, there's so many things I wanted to talk about. You talk about, I was listening to a prophetic word from One Thing Conference, which is out of Kansas City, Missouri, from IHOP Kansas City. And back almost 10 years ago, they were in a prophetic conference, and they were sharing how that the man stood up and told a dream. He says, for every year, think about it says about the size of Texas, every year the Muslim faith recruits Black men or Black people to become Muslim. And so they were talking about, and they were talking to a predominantly white congregation, and he was saying, and the reason why you guys aren't concerned because it's not affecting you. But yet our Black brothers and sisters are out here leaving the gospel to go somewhere else. And you're not even concerned. You're not praying about them. You're not doing anything. So they were touching, and I wanted to share that, but I'm not going to share that here. That's for some of my ministry things that I'm going to be doing and talk about to show that whole clip. But I just wanted to say, just from a Christian perspective, I believe that, I think I said this to you earlier, Alicia, I'm thankful. And I believe, I'm going to say something that's going to flip everybody's mind, but I believe Donald Trump needed to be president. I am very thankful Donald Trump was president. I am very, I'm open-minded to why Donald Trump was president. And had Donald Trump not been president, we would not be openly talking about race to the level that we are right now in America. We would not be, I mean, you're seeing it everywhere on news. Everybody is blatantly open talking about what we as Black people talk about behind closed doors all the time. Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle did an amazing job on Saturday Night Live, telling people the truth in a comedic way.
Telling the truth.
But they're laughing, but they don't understand we as Black people live this stuff all the time.
And that has been the case that I've come to understand in talking with some of my clients. Their experience is our everyday reality, and they don't know what to do.
You said
they don't know what to do. I have a set of white pastors that I still communicate with, and we share ideas and stuff like that. And they are so undone. I have a LDS member that I communicate with, and it just, he and his wife learned that some of their friends went to a Trump rally, and it just blows their mind that this is so unfamiliar to them. And I say, welcome to our world.
And then when you try, I've tried to talk to some of my friends as well that are white to help them understand where we are and how we can move past it. It's just like, I hate to keep bringing him up, but Dave Chappelle was saying, we'll show you, you need some lessons. He said a bad word in front of it, but you need some lessons from us. And I think if white people would take the time that say that they're our friends to listen to us, to hear what we're trying to tell them, their eyes will open a whole lot more.
But you're not looking for people who are looking for information. They're looking for comfort. And they go back into their suburban homes and pay their HOA fees to hear what they want to hear. And they come out and they may mingle with us in Walmart for about 2.5 seconds. But the reality is I agree with you from the perspective that this needed to happen.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, but all growth is uncomfortable.
Right.
True growth is uncomfortable. And just like the Israelites had to go through that period of slavery, right? So that they could get to the point that, okay, God says, now can you hear me? Right? Now do you understand where all that I have for you and the things you settled for? And there were a few that wanted to go back and get the leeks and the onions. Go right ahead, have all of them that you want. Right? But that's a slavery mindset that we have been lulled into by the shiny objects. a lot of the shiny objects, and we lose the grounding sense of what faith is and not religion. We think
Right.
we go is because see, folks can't go sit on a pew now and feel good because Pastor Show did preach today, and we don't have a clue and can't apply nothing to our life, and we haven't learned to change from the heart and to love everybody. Jesus loved everybody, the sinners and the holy folks alike.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And as we continued on, Alicia, with other articles and things that we saw, there was Kenneth Copeland. He came out and he did this thing talking about laughing. So he was laughing and sharing. I don't know if you saw that one or not. So Kenneth Copeland is laughing, and he is called himself laughing about it. So let's see this really quick.
Is a deterrent to pain. Now he said at Johns Hopkins, you know what I'm saying, Hopkins University. They have proven it. And they have people that lead in laughter. They lead in laughter. And they'll say, I don't have anything to laugh about. And they'll say, that's all right. You just go ahead. That your physical brain and body cannot tell the difference between a put-on laugh and a real belly laugh. It works. And like I said, a merry heart does good like a medicine. So the joy of the Lord is our strength. So how do we count it all joy? Well, ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. The Associated Press said that Joe Biden is president. Ha! Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be president. Big Cat's going to be king. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So here we go with seeing, and I know that in ministries we'll take certain things to help people bring it around their understanding, but we're talking about a real life situation here. And folks are in church laughing or saying, we're going to laugh it and tying it in with God as if it's not going to happen.
I mean, I think that that is a very unfortunate use of something that he tried to take in terms of some research is how the body responds to laughter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would agree with the research because we know because a merry heart is like good medicine, but I can laugh and not be merry, right? I'm faking it. Let's not get it twisted, right? Because at the end of the day, your soul knows what's real and what's not real. I've seen people laugh as a defense mechanism. Okay, that is documented. There's research on that. That it's a nervous laugh. There's all kinds of. So we're not going to boil it down and simplify it, but to look at what has now shaken their comfort zone, because this is all this is about.
It is. It's amazing that people who are supposed to be open-minded are so closed-minded. It's amazing that every area that where we're supposed to be loving and doing, we're not. It's amazing that this man that they're supporting has not even continued with the traditions and norms and process. Even if you are contesting your win or your loss, that you still won't do or put people first. Everything you do is of the kingdom of darkness that shares that exposes evil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's one of the things that the pastor from Michigan said. He says this man is evil. And
He embodies everything is about him. Even he perverts what seems to be religion or faith or anything. And just to hear it, I mean, it is painful to watch people put this guy on some pedestal.
Well, you think that's something. Wait till you see this, Alicia. This is the last one we're going to show. But wait till you see this right here. This is going to blow your mind.
Please. God, you are pro-life. And one man is, and one man is not. Would you be pro-life for us? Jesus, Lord, one man is for Israel, one is not. You are for Israel. Lord, one man is for our military and our police, and the other is not. You are. Lord, have you brought Mike Pompeo to be Secretary of State only for that to end now? Have you brought, Lord, Amy Coney Barrett onto the court, and that's it? We're done? Got it? We in this room, we're still pro-life here.
So, Alicia, I'm gonna let you take that away since you got credentials.
So at the point in time, we put God, the Almighty, the omniscient, and the omnipotent, and question his hand about what he does and does not do. First of all, you have missed the whole Old Testament, because there are a lot of people that he put in place. Saul was put in place for a purpose, and the kingdom was taken from him. God already knew that David was going to be king, put in place of a king. But things happen in a season for a reason. And to get on stage and to begin to prostitute the gospel is abhorrent. That's why people leave the church. That's why if that is the God that you serve, and he's only a Santa Claus to give you what you want, to pad your pockets, to put you in a community, to help you build your wealth, is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing?
Well, I think I'll go back to this. Casey said something, I don't know if she's still on, but she says Alicia's exactly right. Uncomfortable conversations have to continue to happen. I'm very thankful for my friends who have pushed me outside of my comfort zone, because I've learned so much about myself and others. And Casey, I don't know if you're still on, but I definitely want to say this. Casey wants to be pushed out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
Casey wants to be pushed out of her comfort zone, and because she is empathetic, and because she recognizes and can see with an adult lens that people are being mistreated around her, she's here. She allows uncomfortable conversations, and we have them a lot, and she's open to it. I'm open to who she is, and we differ as individuals, but we share a common bond of believing that people need to be treated with human decency.
But that's what's been hijacked. That is everything that the current president hopefully soon will be out of here, because we all about to lose it at this point. He embodies everything. There is no understanding. There's no grace. I don't want to know anything about you. That's the whole concept and foundation of this supremacy. It's all about, just like his niece, Mary Trump, too much and never enough. and it's all about me. And there is no integration. That's why there are children in cages. That's why there is a wall. I mean, all of those things that we're supposed to be, and have people have become indoctrinated into thinking that that's okay. That's no different than the Third Reich. That's no different than Hitler.
Yeah, and it's sad, and my hope is that people will listen. People will engage in these courageous conversations, and that they will be open-minded. One thing, I read an article last week, November 1st, and it's called America's Problem is that white people want to be a failed state.
Mm-hmm.
And in this article, it began to show the data, and it went back to, for me, why the state that we're in, North Carolina, did not turn blue. Why they want to continue with the same Trump behaviors and
Mm-hmm.
all of this stuff of divide. And I don't think people, I'm going to say this, I don't think people understand. It's okay. You can vote for who you want to. But I don't think people who voted for Trump, who are of conservatives or evangelicals or religious people, how can you look at me and tell me that you love me as my brethren, and I tell you that this man's policies, whether I'm a faith believer or not, are going to be hard on my life socially, because of the people that he drafts into his organization, into his plans? How do they not understand that even right now, someone sent me a thing that where a white gentleman left and spelled out the N word for them in a craft section, so that they could see it as they walk by. How can and how more and more white people who are gun-toting folks who are comfortable that if I look at them wrong or enter their direction, or for whatever reason they feel, can pull out guns in parking lots and grocery stores on people. And I'm telling you that this behavior is endangering my life, and I'm your brother or your sister spiritually.
Yeah.
I don't matter to you. I had someone tell me they voted for, or someone was telling me a story where people that they knew, they voted for Trump, and they were mad that he didn't get in because they were more concerned about their bottom line. They were worried about not being able to receive certain tax breaks that they needed because they were wealthy people. And I'm saying to myself, about this person, well, how do you not see their races, baby? It doesn't matter, they're doing business with you. They trump their money over you.
Absolutely. Your well-being and safety,
thank you, those are the
means
words.
nothing. Your life means nothing compared to their bank account, compared to their 401, compared to their tax breaks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I need people, I'm going to put this link, and I'll probably put it on my website. I think I posted it on my Facebook page, and it goes back and it shows Umar Haki, and it's from, I forgot what paper it's in, Company, Co. But anyway, he is literally showing us data. Can America solve the problem of the white American voter? And so he is showing data from 1976 to 2012 of how whites vote and who they're voting for. And he's saying, how do you think, it says, who voted over and over again to have worse lives? They're voting for their own demise.
Yeah.
And he was just really showing this data, and I thought it was pretty impressive, of how he was saying people want America to be great or want America to be better, but they don't understand it is white America that is making America so bad. It is white America that is created the way that it is because they're the one who put those people in office.
Yeah.
numerous times to erect policies that go against their improved quality of life over and over again.
Yeah.
Alicia?
And I mean, and here we are breaking records. We're at 10 million infections. We're at what, 240 people who have died, 240,000. We put this person in office, and 71 million people say we want 4 more years.
Right. Casey makes a point and says, "Hey, she's wondered for this for a long time." She says she asked her family and friends and some former friends, "How can you support someone who is so openly racist?"
Well,
You
people color their definition of racism. And so I try to stay away from those broad labels because it makes people feel uncomfortable. But if I say, like you said, Toshiba, how can you support someone whose policies will make my life be a situation where I'm worried about my safety at any given moment? How can you support that when someone that you know is going to have their lifestyle hardened? I'm not going to call you a label because you don't like that.
Yeah.
You can't deal with that. That word makes you cringe. You don't want to hear it. Okay, say we'll move that word out the way. But the principle is still the same. I'm not talking about some random person you don't know down there on the border, kids in cages. That's too far removed from you. But I'm the one. How can you say you love God who you've not seen? But you look at how you choose this person because this person is going to have an effect over my life. So you surely can't love me. You surely have no value for my life whatsoever. No different than those slaves that came up on those ships. They're in the belly of those ships. And at the point in time that they were no longer useful, they were over the side.
Alicia, you've said it and you've said it well. This has been a great conversation. I could go into so much more. Just really wanted to show those clips, wanted people to see where we are as a country right now.
Yeah.
Please, people, continue to wear your mask. Please go get tested where you can to make sure that you're not running around here with COVID and being asymptomatic and spreading the virus. Please make sure that we continue to care and show empathy for one another. And I tell you, these have been some rough conversations. Casey, Misha, Zandra, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. You guys are absolutely amazing. Hi, Brittany. So I tell you, I got more I want to talk about, but I think it's more of we're going to have this, Kalisha, we got to do a Zoom for just on faith and where we are right now as people of color. People of color and allies of people of color, stand up, because moving forward, we've gotten our president-elect and vice president-elect in there, and we've gotten these wonderful people in there to help with giving a better oversight, who are empathetic, but people who are supporting the Black agenda, who made this life a little bit better for everybody else who's an ally, because their life has been uncomfortable as well. We really sincerely need you to stand up and support the things with the Black agenda. And next week is a different topic. Now, next week is my comfort zone. Education, because we're coming down this street and we're talking about this education, and I'm particularly going to be talking about the education in my area and across the state of North Carolina. And so we really definitely want to talk about that and where we are. So look out. We're going to be talking about why we don't have enough African American teachers in the Black, within our school systems across the state. And we definitely want to look at how we can include this conversation of racial equity within our systems, because the only way to tear this system down is to make people aware of it. Who are not aware, teach them about it, and begin to tear down the constructs. And I think one of the things that we can do is you know, change some things in our educational system as people continue to grow. So we're going to switch over to conversation. This was our last polls, policies, and politics, 7 days after the fact. And so next week, we're going to talk about education, something that I love, and some conversations that we need to have. I think moving forward right now for a couple of weeks throughout the end of the year, we really need to talk about people of color. I think people of color have earned the right to be talked about and what the agenda is and who's going to support the agenda. And if you're not going to
Absolutely.
support the agenda, move out of our way. Because
Absolutely.
for me, Toshiba, I can't speak for all Black people, would never dare to do so. But for Toshiba Rice, if you don't do what I need you to do, I'm not voting for you. And I'm going to tell everybody I know not to.
There you
Because
go.
we're living the same narrative, whether Trump was in office or whether Biden, we're still living the same narrative. It's just a little less, the rope loosened up a little bit around our neck.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, this is a team lift. There's no one man that comes save us that ain't named Jesus. So
That's right. And we look to him, and I think it takes both. I think our faith and that I don't look for my presidents to be my pastors.
absolutely.
I just
Absolutely. That's not their role.
don't. Yeah,
That's
I
not
just
their
don't.
role.
I don't look for all of that because government is government. God is still God for
Right.
me. So listen,
Right.
that's a lot of talk. Moving on. I want to move further on into that education arena. Alicia, it has always been a delight to speak with
It's
you.
my pleasure.
Absolutely. Listen, everybody, continue on to wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart, and make sure you wash your hands for a minimum of 20 seconds. I want everybody to have a positive and productive day. This is Talking with T. Rice.